I'm Dr. Christian Bowers, first author on the Arms Race Control Score, Standardizing Residency Applicant Publication Assessment paper that just came out in the Red Journal Neurosurgery. The whole purpose of this paper was to try to sort out how we could focus on the amount of publications that required more effort to produce. A lot of papers were having medical students be 10th author on case reports, or a series of medical students writing letters to the editor listing each other as authors, and this kind of gift authorship. And really, with the Arms Race Control Score showing publications going up and up and up each year to an unreasonable level, it just became necessary for us to say, how can we focus on medical students publishing less research that's more impactful, it took more effort to produce, and have that be the focus for students instead of this desperate need to feel like they need to publish anything no matter what the quality is or what they're learning in the process. And that was the impetus of how we think we can change the entire application process with this. The Publication Effort Score, or the PES, awards points based on the amount of effort for a type of publication. So starting with the lowest effort publications of an editorial, a historical, a commentary, a letter, or reply to letter, those are 1 point papers. And then a case report, operative video, technical note is 2 point papers. A case series, review, or systematic review is a 3 point project. And then a big clinical or basic science paper with a formal meta-analysis or a cadaveric study are 4 points. And if you happen to get a paper that's in a top 500 journal, which is an impact factor journal of greater than 10.2, you get an extra bonus point as well. This publication effort score determines how many total points you have, and you'll divide that by the authorship position to get your publication value unit, or your PVU. So that scale of 1 through 4, and occasionally 5, is how we determine the publication effort score. So once you take your publication effort score, which is between 1 and 4 points, and you divide it by your authorship position, that gives you your publication value unit. If you take the publication value unit for every single publication you have, you sum that together, that gives you your cumulative publication value unit. So if you wrote a big 4 point paper, big clinical research paper, and you were the first author, then your publication value unit would be 4 divided by 1 is 4. If you were the second author, it'd be 4 divided by 2 is 2, and so forth. And at each descending authorship position, your number would decrease incrementally. But if you sum all of your publications up and your publication value units for every single publication, that'll give you your cumulative publication value unit. We now need to talk about MEP, or minimal effort publication. MEP is at the heart of the effectiveness of the Arms Race Control Score. As we talked about last time, let's say you're a first author of a big clinical research paper or basic science paper. You would get 4 points divided by 1 is 4. But what if you were the fourth author? That'd be 4 divided by 4 is 1. If your publication value unit is 1 or less, such as in that case where you're the fourth author of a big 4 point paper, then that equals a minimal effort publication. So you have a PVU of 1 or less than that, you have MEP. That is critical to this because the whole idea of the Arms Race Control Score is to not have medical students focusing on publishing huge numbers of publications which are really just MEP. 10th author on a case report, and so forth. 6th author on a letter to the editor, and those sorts of things. So, in order to calculate your Arms Race Control Score, you take your cumulative PVUs and you subtract your minimal effort publications, or your MEP, from all of your publications. So you just take that big pile of minimal effort publications, or hopefully it's a tiny pile, and you throw it out, and that is your Arms Race Control Score. So as we're evaluating these applicants, we'd like to focus on the publications that require more effort to produce. And that way we can, of this limited resource of time we as faculty have to evaluate applicants, we can focus it in on the more important publications with respect to the amount of effort the students put into them. And we're hoping that that'll give us a better objective evaluation tool to evaluate them and compare them to other peers for these applications for residency. At least we believe it's a better tool, and we believe that the studies will show that, as the preliminary data has shown so far. I think this slide really illustrates the power of the Arms Race Control Score. So remember, these were real student applicants. In the old system, the TNRAP, the total number of residency applicant publications, this is a great example where you had tied for 14th were 6 applicants with 7 publications. But we're going to see how the arms race control score changes the evaluation of those applicants. But after we apply the arms race control score, this group of 6 applicants that were tied for 14th with 7 publications, the arms race control score now really shows the discerning difference in evaluating the applicants, because this applicant is now 12th with an arms race control score of 20, while the bottom person ranked 49th has an arms race control score of 1.3 now, and the other 4 applicants are spread out in between. So this really helps us discern between applicants.